If it, relatively speaking, it feels pretty good right now. It was obviously a very frustrating year, with the exception of winning the team championship. Uh, there's options, you know. Obviously, doing a surgical procedure would be the last option, but there's a couple trainers and a couple workout guys I'm gonna really, you know, really work with hard and a lot this year, and this summer, and hopefully get it strong enough and stable enough to where I don't have to deal with what I had to deal with this year.
And Luke, is a lot of that about just building up the type of strength that can sustain the season? Because the back is always going to seem to go up and down a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I hope so. It's no way to really know right now. I felt like I was doing a lot of work this year, and I have you know, a pretty strong back as it is. So, there's no way to really know until I work with these specialists and focus right on the area that's hurt. But you know, I'm optimistic about it that I'll be able to get it to where it needs to be to start competing and helping this team again.
What would you say were the main points of emphasis from your exit interview?
Um, it was mainly what I was going to do this summer. Uh, Phil. I've played for Phil for a long time, and we talked about how frustrating it was not to be able to really play this year. And he told me obviously loves having me out there and having me, you know, facilitating the offense and this and that. But it was more of a plan, what was going to happen this summer as far as my back, what I thought I should do, what they thought I should do, and more of that route than anything about the season.
How much does the family history with me in terms of your back and things like that concern you when you think about it?
I don't let it concern me because it's kind of just there's no reason to let it concern me. If it happens, it happens. For me to sit around and think about it all day long is just going to put me in a dark place and get me down. I got to be optimistic about it. I got to be, looking forward to the challenge of getting this thing better, and letting it play out how it does. But the doctors I've seen, they don't think it was passed down, from my dad or anything. It's just, it's an injury that happens to a lot of people, and I just happen to be a professional athlete, so it's more prevalent with me.
You've unfortunately had to deal with a lot of injury over the last few seasons. How do you keep yourself from letting that frustration boil over too much?
It's hard, and there's especially this year, this was probably the toughest. There was a lot of times this year that I was really down and out. I was in a dark place. I was struggling. I wasn't a happy man. So I find other things I can do, and the coaching staff and the organization were great. For Phil and his staff to let me kind of tag along with them. I still continue to go on road trips, be with the team, be part of the team, was big for me. Kind of gave me my sense of self-worth still, even though I wasn't able to play. But it's definitely been difficult, but I'm getting better at it.
Did you learn anything from being Phil's aide, or whatever your job description was there?
I heard this. I learned this. Coaching is a lot harder and a lot more work than what it seems like when you just kind of see them coaching at practice, the stuff they do behind the scenes, all the extra film and the meetings, and they put a lot more time and effort in than even the players realize. So, but at the same time, it was fun. It was a lot of fun doing it.
Something you might do eventually?
I have no idea. right now I got to have 100% of my focus on getting back and getting healthy and getting back on that court and helping my team.
We know competition's a big thing in your family, and now matching your dad's 2 rings. Have you had some fun discussions about that?
Not really. You know, we had more fun with it the first year. You know, this year there's so much, you know, him having his back surgery and the stuff he was going through, and then me having my back issues and everything I was going through. The jabbing and the trash talking hasn't really started yet. It's been more, you know, me, every time I see him, really happy to see him out and about, enjoying his life again. And I think, you know, for him, kind of the same thing. I think he feels, you know, terrible for me that I was hurt, but then seeing, you know, me with the team and going through the playoff run and winning another championship, you know, he is more excited and just happy for me.
It's more of like a mutual father-son support kind of on both ends thing.
Yeah.
Given the adversity you and your father's going through with this kind of issues, how significant was just that support system? Thinking just getting through all this.
From him or from my?
From you.
I'm just saying. It's asking.
Well, just given the adversity you and your father have gone through with just
Yeah.
the injuries, how significant did you find that support system to be, just in terms of you getting through all of it?
I mean, it was huge. I was, when I wasn't playing, you know, especially for the second time after I took that first length of time off, and I thought I was all right, and now I'm good to go again. And I came back, and the pain all came back again. I was really struggling with that, just being unsure, not really confident about what's, you know, the future was going to be like. So having his support and having, you know, the support, like I said, from my teammates and the coaches, you know, even Dr. Buss came and talked to me and lent his support, was huge for me. It kind of got me out of a funk and was able to let me, you know, get going again. I know if on his end of it, it's tough to say, you know, because he wasn't really big on sharing and talking about it, and I couldn't go down and see him because it was, you know, during the season I couldn't get down there. But you know, it's tough for me to speak on how it was for him, anyways, you know.
Now that you've done it, how hard is it really to coach Kobe Bryant?
What? Say it again.
Now that you've done it, how hard is it really to coach Kobe Bryant?
It's easy. You draw some plays for him and let him do what he does.
So what did you tell him on a test doing timeouts?
I told him to keep shooting. I told him, you're on our test. You've done that for years in this league. Don't start letting it get in your head now. If you're open, you better shoot the damn ball. And you know, sometimes it was good advice, and sometimes he came back, and I was like, but you know, Ron's great. We love him over here.
Luke, last year, everybody came up and was like, we need to get Lamar back, we need to get Trevor back if we can. How important are Derek and Phil this offseason?
Yeah, Mitch is going to have a real busy summer because there's a lot of free agents, including the head coach. But obviously, I mean, I think it speaks for itself how important it would be to have those guys, those leadership, that leadership. Just, you know, the intangibles that Derek brings to this team are, I mean, it's unbelievable. You know, just you know, off-court stuff alone. Even if you weren't going to ever play him again, just bring him back just for what he does off the court, and obviously what he does on the court. You know, he had huge playoff games for us. You know, he started, I think, every game this season. You know, he's practiced every day. So, you know, even though he's been in the league for a while, I mean, he's obviously still out there competing every day, making the team better. And you know, obviously next year in the playoffs, he's gonna have at least 2 or 3 other moments that, you know, go down in Laker history. That's what Derek does. Hopefully, If I had the choice, I'd definitely bring both. I'd bring them both back for sure.
And you know Phil pretty well. Obviously, you've spent your whole career with him coaching you. Did you get any inclination where he's leaning?
A little bit, but I'm gonna leave that between Phil and you guys, or Phil and Mitch. But I told him as I left that I hope that he's back next year, because I love playing for Phil.